The Wawa Cup Series completed its season 6 days ago, and what a thrilling race we had in the Southern 500. As we always expected, we are here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway to have another thrilling race, and now the minds of these drivers is set to the Turkey Hill Truck Series in the rest of the year. We're 16 races until the finale on Christmas Day at Homestead. We're early on in the season, but we're at a classic racetrack, the Atlanta Motor Speedway. These guys are going to be flying around this place, and it's going to be a lot of fun on the high banks here on the Middle Atlanta, as you'd like to call it. The one in between the three versions of this racetrack. But it's my favorite, and we're back here at the old Atlanta for the Celcius Peach Vibe 200 here in the 2024 Turkey Hill Truck Series. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Atlanta Motor Speedway for the third race of the season here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. Of course, the Wawa Cup Series is complete, and now the focus is on this Truck Series season for these drivers. And we've already had a couple of great races so far. Zachary Fitzwater winning at Daytona, Thomas Troxel winning last week at Darlington. And we're excited for this race. It's been a long time since we've run a race on this version of Atlanta. We used the new version of Atlanta the past couple of years in the Wawa Cup Series, but we're reverting back to this one, and we're going to be coming back here in the 2025 Wawa Cup Series season as well. So we're saying goodbye to the Super Speedway version and heading back to this version of Atlanta because it produces such great racing, and it's going to be a great race here. These guys are going to be all over the racetrack, and it's going to ironically play out a lot like the real-life Atlanta races on the Super Speedway version of this track. That's just the way this one is. But we're excited for it. I'm joined alongside Matt Took, who I know is excited for this race. He's got his driver on the outside pole there in the number 1. And Matt, this is a very wild racetrack. It's very fast, but you have to have a good truck and a good driver to get up front. What's the key to winning here on this version of the Atlanta Motor Speedway?
Well, I think, like you said, you got to have a good truck, good driver, good setup. Everything's got to work your way. Definitely got to keep yourself out of trouble because, you know, obviously the new Atlanta, you could get into trouble very easily too, but that's a track position race. This one, a little less of a track position race. You'll see a lot more comers and goers, but keeping that truck clean and out of trouble, I think, will be the most important thing for these drivers here today.
And we'll have to see who ends up having the fastest truck here today. Logan Williams is once again starting on the pole position. That's 2 straight poles for Logan with this new qualifying format. It's played out very nicely for that Triad truck so far. But the downside for Logan is he did not have a good run last week at Darlington. Fell way back. He's 33rd in the points with only 15, well now 16 total points in this championship. However, Thomas Troxel is off to a very good start. He starts on the inside lane in the top 20. He won last week at Darlington. He's your points leader by 4 points over our Daytona winner of Zachary Fitzwater. A 4-point lead there for Troxel. Blaine Keys is 13 points behind. Skep Silver is 15 points behind. And Philip Torrey's tied with LJ Semedo for 5th in points, 16 points behind. Still very early on in the season, but with no chase, every race matters towards this championship, and you have to be consistent as this whole season runs through. You're not going to hear us reference what happened in the Wawa Cup Series finale. Still want to make sure Matt has a great opportunity to watch that race and see what happened himself. We're recording this before that went up, so we will not be making any reference to what happened on Sunday, other than it was a great race, as it always is. But we will make reference, of course, to the last truck race because, hey, that relates to this. We know that Thomas Troxel won it. Going to be interesting to see what he can do in this one. Like we mentioned, we have Logan Williams starting on the pole position here to the inside there of Blaine Keys in the 1. Great qualifying effort for Justin Zaidel and TP Motorsports. That team has had a driver in the Fast 6 each of the 3 weeks so far. Rogel Dorn, his second Fast 6. They are starting 4th, and Fitzwater's second Fast 6 as well, starting in the 5th position alongside Brian Webb. Emily DeBenedetti and the 59 of Corey Case make up row number 4, and then it's Caleb Rose and the 51 of Derek Hamill making up row number 5. There's your points leader, Thomas Troxel, starting there in the 14th position, in the 13th position, I should say. And it's going to be interesting to see what he can do from that 7th row alongside Matthew Hubert. You also got Eric Monaco, Nicholas Sambidio starting in front half of the field. But We're going to see these guys cycle through quite a bit here today. There will be comers and goers, but it's only a 33-lap race, a very short and quick race. We could go caution-free as well on this one, but there will be a cycle of pit stops around lap 20 here today to cycle things out and see how that all shakes out. Let's go ahead and get these drivers to roll off here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway on the Celcius Peach Vibe 200. And Matt, we got a lot of strong drivers, including one of your drivers starting on the front row. Who do you think's going to get it done here in the Celcius Peach Vibe 200 in Atlanta?
Well, I could come up here, you know, and pick my own truck and potentially jinx it, or I could pick one of our affiliate trucks and jinx them. So I'm going to jinx somebody else who's not one of our trucks. I'm actually going to take Caleb Rose in the 33 today. Got a nice starting spot there on the inside, here in the inside, and I think he's going to have a shot here to score the victory today.
Yeah, he definitely needs it. Poor Caleb Rose, 35th in points coming into this race. Not a good start to the season there for Broke Boys Garage and that team, but this is definitely a place where they can turn all that around. We'll have to see if Caleb can in fact do so there. Of course, hey, it would be pretty fitting if the Celcius Peach Vibe truck won the Celcius Peach Vibe 200. Of course, it almost won the pole. But Logan Williams had other ideas. This truck has a lot of speed, a lot of raw speed. Will it translate to a race win? We have 33 laps to figure it out here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Pace truck's going to pull off right here. Logan Williams and Blaine Key's going to lead us down. It's great to be back here on this version of Atlanta. It's going to be a great race here. And we're excited to see how these 33 laps end up shaking out. Here we go. Green flag in the air. We're racing in Atlanta. Logan Williams leads us to the green flag for the third race of the season. And they're going to be side by side across the line. Logan is going to barely lead lap 1. It's another bonus point towards the championship for him. That's 2 straight races where he's led, but how about Justin Zidell? Of course, a former driver with the Grattan Autosport team, now driving for TP Motorsports here in the trucks. Trying to pull away from Logan here in this race. You got Fitzwater to the inside of Blaine Keys. There's Caleb Rose on the inside as well. Emily DeBenedetti. Only her third ever start on the channel, running top 10 with all these guys. Rogel Dorn, Roberto Crown Jr. in the middle, and it's the way these guys race. It's a lot like a modern-day Atlanta race here, but only we're on the old version of this track because they're 3 wide back in there.
There's just something, though, about watching these trucks absolutely rip every single inch of this racetrack that you just didn't see on that new repay version of Atlanta. You get to see here, just like the old days, is we're seeing Justin Zidell sling this truck all over the racetrack here early in this going. Great to see speed out of Zidell. He showed strong pace at the end of the Wawa Cup Series season, but it's Williams, Zidell, Keys, and here comes Caleb Rose in the 33 up into the 4th position, battling the Rogel Dorn. They're still 3 wide all throughout. Oh, they're about to be 3 wide for the lead here, I thought for a second. This is fantastic stuff.
And like I said, Wawa Cup Series is going to be coming here next year for their race, and well, it's going to be a lot of fun seeing the next-gen cars ripping around here. How about Bruno Diacomo and the 3 Machine? Of course, remember last year Diacomo was very strong early on in the season. Got the wins at Richmond and Michigan, finished top 10 in the points, and he would definitely love to get his season kick-started here today at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Running top 10 right now. He's got Laura Chung right behind him, and Emily DeBenedetti still top 10 as well. Derek Hamill in this top 10. Here's Thomas Troxel, last week's winner. Sam Medeo going to the inside of him right there. Oh, and Troxel really had to wash it up, and that's one really neat thing about this track. You switch lines, you hit that seam, and then you just go sliding up and back. But I tell you what, it runs so much like a modern-day Atlanta race here. And ironically, it's actually more entertaining than the Super Speedway version that we had here. This is some great stuff as Zidell takes the lead back away from Logan Williams on lap 6.
It is funny, like, we see how a real-life Cup race plays out, and it plays out more like a NR old Atlanta would than the new Atlanta, which just plays out like a very tough-to-pass, high-lane dominant racetrack. Quite frankly, it kind of sucks to race it. This is not so much. This is the opposite. This is a fantastic... I mean, we're 7 laps into this. We've got, what, 12 trucks here sitting under a blanket? If Caleb Rose were to spin right now, half of this field would be dead. But Bruno Diacomo's doing it for Dale. He's moving it up to the front. He's going to go to the lead, and he's going to take Sam Medeo with him. Giacomo's had some fantastic pace to start the season here in this 3 truck, and he's going to lead at the stripe.
He got that lap bled, and the floodgates opened up front with these guys. Caleb Rose split it 3 wide. This 23 Nicholas Sam Medeo is really quick, and I know he'd love a rebound after what happened last week at Darlington. Did not qualify well, did not run well. Of course, he's still 10th in points somehow. Had a good run at Daytona. The one driver who's been up here this whole time is Blaine Keys. And of course, we keep on talking about how good Blaine Keys is in these trucks. Won 3 of the last 6 races last year, including the finale at Homestead. But Sam Medeo on this 23 in a Grattan Autosport truck, taking this race lead. You don't want him to get too far out ahead because I feel like he's going to be hard to beat. I tell you what, when I was testing, they weren't this close to each other this late in the race. You have some of these guys who are falling off a little bit. They're seeing what's happening in front of them, and they're like, no thanks, I don't want any of that, including Ludovic Charette, runner-up last week at Darlington in the Mellow Yellow Zero Sugar 200. Not a good run for our defending champion here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series, as she is still mired deep in the field. Same with the 3rd place runner, Leonard Kochmer, from that race. And, of course, you know, we miss a pass for the race lead. Blaine Keys out front here at Atlanta.
Well, look at all this Grattan Industries violence here at the front of this pack, but I actually don't think Ludovic's in that bad a spot right now. Actually, correct me if I'm wrong. Are we going to see pit stops in this race?
Well, we are. 20 laps in, roughly, is going to be that fuel run, so we're about halfway through the fuel run right now. It's going to be interesting to see how well they maneuver coming down the pit lane with how close these guys are, but that will determine who wins this race, considering how close everybody is right now here. Sam Medeo goes back to the inside. Blaine's going to cross back over. And just so many lanes, so many opportunities on this racetrack. But tire wear is also starting to come into effect as well. These tires wear out quite a bit. And honestly, too, that's how New Atlanta kind of is. The later they get in the run, the tires wear out. It's actually a very difficult track to drive in modern-day NASCAR. And that's very much what we've got going on right here. Troxel moving his way through the field. He's looking to go 2 in a row. He's top 5 right now, that 93 machine, as he gets around to Benedetti, as they're still side-by-side for the race lead here in Atlanta.
Yeah, so that pit stop cycle is going to make things very interesting because you have a lot of trucks right now just all on top of each other. Like, the worst place you could be if we were closing in on like a lap or two to come in on the pit stop cycle would be where that 25 truck is. 3 lanes up on the outside lane. You want to position yourself for that pit stop. So if you're sitting in there in the back, and
Alford in the outside wall. And I think Troxel's on the wall as well. And just like Darlington last week, that's something we see here in Atlanta. You lose the grip and get up into that wall, that's going to hurt you. And, of course, that may be an extended pit stop if you gain too much damage. Going to be fascinating to see if Alford and Troxel end up having an extended pit stop. They're still side-by-side for the race lead between Blaine Keys and Nicholas Sam Medeo. Rogel Dorn in the middle of all this, Laura Chung as well. Remember Laura Chung? Actually, the last time we were here at Atlanta in the Truck Series, she went to Victory Lane, I think. Yeah, she did win the last time we were in Atlanta.
I think so.
But that was on the Super Speedway version of the track. Well, she had a really good run at Darlington. She's 15th in points, and I keep on saying, I feel like this is a driver-team combination that's actually going to find a lot of successes here, and right now that's the case. Top 5 run for here. Derek Hamill all by himself. There's Idell a little bit further back. Corey Case, great run for Corey Case right now. Stapleton started in the last row, I think, for this race. And Troxel's still in the outside wall. But Stapleton inside the top 10 now in that 61 machine. Logan Williams slipped back, but he's still in contention for this race victory. These guys are really sliding. Troxel is really struggling out there in that 93 machine. And sliding around in the outside wall all over the place here on this racetrack. As once again they're side by side. And Sam Medeo back to the inside of Keys. What a great battle between two of the longest running drivers on the channel. To over 20 career wins between both of these drivers. 28 for Sam Medeo. 20, well, we'll say 20 for now. It's more than 20. But both of these drivers have more than 20 wins coming into this race. Sam Medeo looking to tie Fitzwater again at 29 on the wins list. And he could have a good chance of doing so here today.
Oh, and Grattan Industries makes up 3 of the top 5 currently. This is exactly, you know, this is what I tune on these races
Stapleton.
to see here. But, there goes Stapleton.
Really in the wall.
That's tough for him. that was one of the biggest slides to the top of that wall. Oh, there was the 52 of Matthew Huber, I think, just got in the wall as well. So we're starting to see that top lane we've seen here at New and Old Atlanta. You slide that a little too far into the top, coming off of one of these corners, and you can end up ripping that wall halfway around the corner, and that is not a fun place to be, especially if there's no cautions. Oh, big slides up there by Keys and Hamill. I think you're starting to see the tire wear on Keys and Hamill, especially there, really come into play. You can see the top 10 are basically now in a single file line, which tells me they're getting ready here in a lap or two to come down pit road. And this is going to be an exciting sequence because there's still a lot of trucks on top of each other in this mid-pack. And if there's, you always say anything could happen in some of these races. Well, if somebody gets wrecked coming down on the pit road or something, it could really shake this whole race up.
It absolutely could. Hopefully we do not see that. On the side, rolls way in the outside. These guys, they think they have the grip going into the corner, and then their tires are just shot going in, and that's what these guys are facing. But the drivers who are going to have the best success on pit lane are going to be the ones who have a clean truck. Of course, the Grattan Autosport affiliated truck has yet to win a race this season in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. It was Fitzwater with Airgel Motorsports, and then it was Troxel with Evans Ross Racing. So a Ford has yet to go to victory lane. They got a really good chance here today. However, Laura Chung and Rogaldorn looking to spoil the party. Logan Williams in the Ram looking to spoil the party. Definitely a much better run for Logan. He has really come on strong past few laps.
Here
we go. Sam Video going to lead him down. And I feel like undercutting is going to be the advantage here, assuming you don't end up with a caution, because the tire wear is pretty significant here at Atlanta. And you want to get those fresher tires to get the advantage on this guys. It's only going to be about a 10-lap run once we get through the cycle here. But we'll focus with this 23 machine of Nicholas Sambidio. Blaine Keys right behind him there in the 1. Now, I'd imagine going to be a 4-tire stop for all these guys here on lap 21 here to the Atlanta Motor Speedway.
You get a clean outlap, though. I think an overcut could be a sneaky strategy if you're at the front of that pack of trucks. It's overcutting, because we saw here.
That was a 2-tire stop there.
Hold on.
They're all going 2.
That's not good.
And then Blaine's got a problem. He's a little bit longer on the pit lane than he would have liked. And Logan Williams with a slow stop as well in that 72 machine. So very interesting strategy play right there between some of those guys. Not entirely sure what all went down with all of them. But Sam Benito's going to win the race off of those guys who just came down. And I'm surprised all these guys are going 2 tires. I guess they're thinking only 10 laps. We don't want to waste too much time in the pit lane, but going to be hard to get around this racetrack with only the 2 tires. We're going to see these guys sliding quite a bit here. Laura Chung in the number 4. Very good exit there for her. And where's this 23 Nicholas Sambidio? There's Brian Webb. It's kind of hard to get in line with all these guys. Here's the 23 machine. Laura Chung may have just jumped these guys here. She did.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy, that was some interesting strategy right there. And how about Laura Chung, who has not won since the Turkey Hill Truck Series in 2022, looking to jump this field and go to victory lane and have both the Hairgel trucks in victory lane after 3 races. This team has definitely found some strength early on, but Sam Benito going to try to work his way through the field here, but he's 5th right now. Now these guys are really spread out. Aaron Abel and Bryce Egan really benefiting from all that right there. And it is a complete shuffle throughout this entire field here after that cycle.
I'm not really sure how that played out to be the benefactor there, to go 2 tires, but the overcut on 2 tires end up so much more powerful, especially given Sam Medillo is leading the race and was the first truck down in. Looked like his outlap was clean, but he got absolutely smoked clearly because everybody who stayed out that extra lap beat him, and he's now in 4th position. So that's an interesting moment in this race there. Laura Chung leads, Rogel Dorn, Aaron Abel. Now, this is going to be interesting to see. Sam Medio's got a dispatch of these 3 trucks very, very quickly here if he wants to have a shot to go for this win, which maybe he'll have a shot. But he's got to get moving here really quick. If he wants to have a shot to go for this win, Abel sliding it all over this racetrack.
Yeah, these guys, they're going to have to work together if they're going to close in to Laura Chung, if any of them are going to have an opportunity at this win. You got Brian Webb and Igor Brett. I'm sure you're happy with that. It's got more of the Grattan affiliated trucks right there, Webb Racing Enterprises. The 99 running 6th, Beretta running 7th, Hamill, Corey Case, and LJ Semedo the top 10. Definitely some of the biggest losers in that sequence were Blaine Keys and Logan Williams again. That was a disastrous stop for Logan Williams. All the way down in 32nd. Not entirely sure what happened with some of those guys who had some of those front pit stalls right there. Fitzwater's all the way in the back of the field right there. Everyone's still on the lead lap, all the way down to Duncan Ward, who is currently running last. And here we go.
Here we go. Here we go. Oh, this is what we like to see.
Will Nicholas Samedeo get to Laura Chung in this race? And if he does, will he have enough momentum to get around her? That's the big question. I think he's got enough time to do it. Going to be 5 laps to go next time by here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. He closed in 0.4 of a second on that last lap. And it does appear that he is closing in fast on this number 4. I'm wondering, you want to know something? I think Laura Chung, Bryce Egan, Rogel Dorn, Aaron Abel, they all went no tires. And those 2 tires are starting to kick in for Samedeo right here, who's trying to reel in Laura Chung for this race win at the Atlanta Motor Speedway.
That would actually, maybe we'll go review it in post-race, but that would actually make a lot of sense because a 2-tire stop in this game is worth about, what, 8 to 10 seconds? Fuel only in this game is worth about 6 seconds on pit road, depending on where your tank is, 4 to 6 seconds. So that would actually make a lot of sense, and it would explain the pace difference here is just unbelievable. Samedeo's taken over half a second out in just the past 2 laps. He might take a half a second out this lap. He is flying up on the back of this Ford truck. Absolutely, and he's pulling away from the trucks behind him as well.
And he's sniffing that draft on that Ford machine as well. And I think that was a big thing in qualifying yesterday as well. These guys kind of getting that draft and getting those faster times. I think that's why we saw guys like Justin Zeidel get into that fast 6. But Blaine's also on that same strategy as well. He's moved up to 13th, so I definitely think that's the case. As Rogel's hard in the outside wall again. He's going to lose a ton of ground. And here we go. Nicholas Samedeo going to try to dispatch this 4 for the race lead. And Ty Fitzwater once again for win number 29 on the channel. He's really got a good shot now. Great momentum off the exit of turn number 4. And he's peeking to the inside of Laura Chung. And I don't think this is going to be a hard pass to make. Nicholas Samedeo going to get that 4 a little loose, and with 3 laps to go, Nicholas Samedeo has taken the lead back away here in the Celcius Peach Vibe 200. Well, Laura Chung try to cross over, get that 23 a little loose. She's going to dive it in the turn number 3. She's not going to let him have it easy. And how about this from Laura Chung? They're side by side for the race lead, coming to 2 laps to go here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Samedeo's gonna have to fight for this win here on the outside. He's got more momentum, and we see in the top side, if you have the fresher tires, could definitely be the more powerful line. But also, Bryce Egan gotta be loving what he's seeing here right now. This is allowing him to close right up to the back of Laura Chung. I don't know if he's gonna have enough time to get by both of them, but maybe he's got enough time to steal a runner-up finish. Samedeo's gonna clear, heading to the white flag here. I think he should be able to hold off, but this is a hard-earned victory here, making up over almost 2 seconds there on that final run. Flying his way up here and taking the lead.
White flag for Nicholas Samedeo here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Bryce Egan a little wide there through the corner. Nicholas Samedeo went winless last year in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. I'm sure he'd love to get his first win of the season on the 3rd race, but Laura Chung's going to have something to say about this. She's got to run to the inside, and we're going to be side by side at the line. Laura Chung, Nicholas Samedeo, I think he got her. And Mr. Edge strikes again here for his 29th career win on the channel. Oh, he made that interesting, didn't he? Oh my goodness.
Woo!
And that, my friends, is why we call him Mr. Edge.
Woo! I'm gonna assume that's the closest finish of the calendar year. Oh my goodness!
I have a feeling here. I have a feeling. I have a feeling. I'm thinking. I don't know.
000?
See, this is if this was a Caleb race. Caleb has the. He's got all 3 numbers on the ticker. We do not. So we have to wait in anticipation here Let's
It's
see. What is it?
001.
Oh, 02. 002 for Nicholas Samadeo on Laura Chung to win here at Atlanta. It's not his closest finish, ironically, but it was a pretty darn close one, if you ask me. Wow. That was exciting. Nicholas Samadeo wins the Celcius Peach Vibe 200 here at Atlanta. And you're going to see some replays of that on your screen because that was an excellent finish. Everybody finished on the lead lap, but our Daytona winner finished dead last of Zachary Fitzwater. And we absolutely had some strategy plays going on there with the 2 tires and the no tires. And it almost worked out for Laura Chung there, who closed right in at the end. Just not quite enough to get to Nicholas Samadeo. What an exciting race here in Atlanta, and aren't you glad we came back to this track? It was a fun one here for this Celcius Peach Vibe 200.
No, that was a fantastic race start to finish. That opening stint was just unbelievable to watch there. Definitely sucks for our crew a little bit. I mean, I think Blaine definitely had much better pace than the finish he got, and Ladovic was just a little off the pace all weekend. But for the group as a whole, I mean, first, 7th, 8th, or 6th, 7th, 8th, Jack Haas top 20. Almost everybody came in the top 20. So got the win. It's a great day for the coalition as a whole, even if on our front it struggled. And this is a great race in general. I think definitely what you want to see out of your intermediate racing.
Absolutely. That was a lot of fun there, and wow. I did not expect that finish to happen. We got to give Laura Chung a lot of credit. She's going to be fast all season, I feel like, and I was talking about her at Darlington, and I thought she was going to be really quick. She finished top 5 last week at Darlington. She finished top 5 again here. Some of the other guys who we expected to run well in this race, who ran well last week, like Thomas Troxel and Leonard Kochmer, yeah, it just kind of midway through. Same with Ladovic Charette. That was the top 3 last week at Darlington, and you're all kind of just midway through. Ladovic just wasn't anywhere to be found in this race. But definitely a fascinating one here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. But Grattan Autosport, the proper team Grattan Autosport, gets the race win with Nicholas Samadeo here today. You got to keep in mind, even though they got all the affiliates, Samadeo and Hamill do in fact drive for Grattan Autosport officially. And Stuart Grattan gets the owner's win with Nicholas Samadeo. Great to see Nicholas get this win. Nicholas Samadeo has been in every single Turkey Hill Truck Series race since the first season when it was called the Napa Truck Series. He is the only driver, as far as I know, who has driven in every race of a series on this channel, and that is this one right here. So congratulations, Nicholas Samadeo. He hasn't had the most success in this series, but that right there, that win, could definitely propel him to a good opportunity at a championship as the season rolls along. Be interesting to see if he has contention as we move further on in the season. Well, next week, Matt, we're heading to Watkins Glen, so we're completely changing it up there with Lake Effect Ice Cream 175. Of course, that's your home track. You know what it's all about. How do you think that one's going to play out in a week's time?
Well, that one you're going to see a heavy emphasis on, I think, qualifying. Now, obviously, you saw the Sprint Series race. You could make up a lot of positions during the race, but you definitely want to be starting in a optimal position at Watkins Glen, definitely in the Fast 6. So it should be a lot of fun. I know, especially for us, definitely want to see the 1 and the 2 put on a good show there. But it's going to be a fun weekend up there at Watkins Glen, and trucks always put on. I mean, I did a truck race on the channel at one point at Watkins Glen.
One Turkey Truck or a series race that I didn't do, you did at Watkins Glen. But I'll be doing it this time around. So
there's your random. There's your random trivia for the AG Lore channel.
Yes, and that actually, interestingly enough, counts as an official AG win. Actually, I don't know. It might not. It might not. I actually don't remember what we officially counted as. I can't remember. That was a long time ago, but hey, all the races will be on this channel. All the races in the Truck Series will be done by me. But you'll hear Matt's voice a lot this season, no doubt about it. I know he loves calling these races, and I'm talking high praise of Grattan Autosport and their 8 affiliated trucks. All right, that's it for me. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, And we will see you guys next week from Watkins Glen. We'll also see you for the Body Armor Pro Series race at Watkins Glen as well. I believe you gave me a name for that, the Kodak Watkins Glen Grand Prix. He made the logo for it, so we'll be showcasing that. Excited to see how that one goes. I know Stuart Bratton's the pole sitter for that race because he had the fastest lap at Zenjoltis, so hey, watch out for Stuart. He may get a race win as a driver. I think Drew Webb's outside pole for that race too, so you know, they're just everywhere. You can't get away from it. You can't get away from it. It's going to be interesting to see how that one plays out, and of course the trucks are Saturday at noon Eastern Time right here on AJ the channel. So thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Nicholas Samedeo. He ties Fitzwater, so it's Fitzwater and Samedeo both at 29. If either of them win another race, it's win number 30 on the channel for this drivers, and quite amazing how many they have racked up over the years. And Nicholas Samedeo is still going, and he's still edging these guys out by nothing. Why would we call him Mr. Edge? Thank you guys so much for watching. On behalf of Matt Tuck, here are the points for the Turkey Hill Truck Series after 3 races, and I will see you guys later.